Hey guys, next up we have the phosphorus cycle. So there are a few reservoirs for phosphorus. These include rocks, sediment, and living organisms. Most of the phosphorus is going to be found in this form, phosphate, and it rarely changes from that phosphate form in this cycle. So, comparison to different cycles, phosphorus will never be found just freely in the atmosphere. It's not very soluble in water. It clings to soil and it's not easily leached, which means that there's not going to be a whole lot of dissolved phosphorus, making it a limiting nutrient. So here, down to the cycle. Phosphorus can be found in plant and animal tissues. We're just going to start here, okay? So let's say that this elk here dies. Two things can happen. One, either decomposers can break down the phosphorus, this is called mineralization, and bacteria will convert it into dissolved phosphate, which can then be available to plants to assimilate, to take up, to complete this little mini cycle. If it's not broken down by decomposers, then the insoluble phosphates can be stored in as bone deposits in rock. Alright, they then can be broken apart by weathering and erosion over a long period of time, and the phosphate can become available for plants to assimilate once again. Now, the second way that this phosphorus can be broken down once it has been taken up into plant and animal tissues is by excretion. So when this elk goes and potties, and I put a little elk pie here, or birds, so here are bird droppings, then decomposers can again do this process of mineralization. The bacteria will break the phosphate down, make it available for plants again. Alright, so issues with humans. Phosphorus is a limiting nutrient in aquatic ecosystems. When humans use things like fertilizers run off into rivers and streams or lakes or whatever, it can cause massive algal growth. This can cause algal blooms. When there is a whole bunch of algae, then it uses up all the nutrients in the water. When it uses up all the nutrients, then it gets hungry and they're going to starve and die. Once the algae has starved and died, then there's going to be a whole bunch of decomposing bacteria that are going to be eating on this dead algae. When they are eating all of this algae, there's going to be a higher demand for oxygen. So they're using up all of this oxygen, eating all of this algae, then we're going to have hypoxia. The oxygen levels are going to drop because the bacteria are using all of them. And then at this point, there's not enough oxygen in the water for fish to survive, so they die. This whole process is called eutrophication. Now, humans used to contribute to this a lot more. Now, really the main contribution is through fertilizers. We used to wash clothes with detergents that contained a lot of phosphates, and it contributed to this eutrophication issue a lot as well. Scientists figured out what was going on. We've changed the way that detergents were made. Okay, so phosphorus. Thank you guys.